Down to increase security to certify the 2024 presidential election. We have a lot happening on the political scene, both locally and nationally.
That's right. CBS News correspondent Scott MacFarlane joining us today to break it all down. Scott, good to be with you.
It's good to be here.
I wanted to start, we have this government shutdown looming at the end of September. If this happens, essentially the government would shut down right before the November election. And of course, we live here in D.C. There's a lot of government workers, and it's been one of the trending stories on our website. What should people expect if a deal is not reached?
Now, there's always this concern, you're Chicken Little about these things. We keep warning about government shutdowns and they keep averting the deadlines. But there's a different dynamic here. This is happening at a distinctively disruptive, toxic political moment with everything uncertain as the election plays out. I spoke to a number of local Democrats from Virginia and from Maryland. They seem pretty unanimous. Democrats are sticking together here. They're not going to get behind the Republican U.S. House plan to fund the government for 6 months through March 28th, but to attach this SAVE Act, this bill that would make it unlawful for undocumented immigrants to vote in federal elections. Democrats say it's already against the law, it doesn't actually happen, and that just fuels conspiracy theories. So they're going to burn through some more time next week litigating that in the U.S. House. Then somebody's going to have to intervene, a bipartisan group, to pass something that is shorter, maybe only through December, and doesn't include the SAVE Act. But we will get close to that deadline again. It'll get close to September 30th with the caveat something is different this time. We're in a historic election where everything has been combustible and different, and nobody's quite sure what the political impact would be, which gives neither side much leverage.
Well, Scott, where do negotiations stand right now? I mean, some look at this and say, because we have been through this so many times, that this is just kind of political theater and at the 11th hour they'll get it done like they always do typically. But there are some that are a bit concerned that, given kind of how volatile things are, that this could be legitimate this time.
Yeah, the negotiations are going so well. Notice the crowds of behind me here at the Capitol. There is nobody here. They all went home around 4 p.m. and they're going to pick this up next week. So they think they've got a little more wiggle room and time. This is going to have to work its way through the House. The Senate seems ready to move on passing something to keep the lights on until about Christmas. They want to do this after the election and get something in for 2025. I look for something happening the week of the 23rd. That gives them room to get something passed. Both sides can look like they punched themselves out to satisfy their political bases. Then there'll be movement. But there's an asterisk on all of this.
Sure.
Donald Trump says go ahead and shut it down. That makes it harder for Republicans to compromise, and it destabilizes things in an unpredictable way.
You said it. We'll stay tuned to see what ends up happening. I wanted to ask you real quickly, January 6th, 2025 will be the first election certification since the 2021 insurrection at the Capitol, and it's been designated as a national special security event. I've heard some people equate the security that will be there to the Super Bowl. Can you talk about the types of security measures that they're looking to put in place here?
Yeah, they're putting it on a level with the Super Bowl, with the Olympics, with presidential conventions. And just think about that for a moment. January 6th is the ministerial, ceremonial certification of elections. Usually it's a yawner, even for people who work here. Obviously, the 2021 certification changed things. Expect the fencing that we've become accustomed to around the Capitol complex. Federal Homeland Security agents helping, along with local police, Virginia, Maryland, helping the Capitol Police. But I've told you, this is something that people have recognized for a while that they had to get ready for. Some of the critics of this say it's fine to do it, but you're fighting the old war. There are different vulnerabilities, softer targets in smaller places that they should be mindful of too.
CBS News correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, good to see you in the flesh, sir. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.